Welcome to the Get Smart with Money podcast. I'm your host, Dana Hernandez, financial planner and author of Get Smart with Money, Break Free from the Struggle, Build Wealth on Your Terms, and Rewrite Your Money Story. Here we talk about money, entrepreneurship, growth, and resilience, because financial freedom is about more than just numbers. Each week, you'll get practical strategies, inspiring stories, and the motivation you need to stress less about money and create more freedom in your life. Let's get smart with money together. Thank you for joining us today for another episode of the Get Smart with Money podcast. Today I have a very special guest. Her name is Jennifer Licciardi, and she and I met a few weeks ago actually at a Tag Talk event in California. She had a great speech, and I'm very honored that she wanted to be on this show. So thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So I wanted to kind of just start off with where you grew up.
Yes, so I grew up in Massachusetts.
Oh.
I know I was living in California for over 20 years, but I am actually from Massachusetts.
Okay.
I grew up in a small town of 6,000 people. My parents are still married. They're out in California now.
So this is not the first time you have moved across country, because now you're in Texas from California, right?
Right. It's my recent move to Texas. Yes.
Okay. My parents are still married actually too, and I think that's pretty rare for a lot of people these days anyway. So where did your whole journey start with you wanting to speak on stage and all of your entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. So for me, I had my spiritual awakening almost 2 years ago, as of this January. I went through a tough breakup, and I was working with a relationship coach at the time. He told me to scream out what I wanted. That's him saying peace, love, and joy in my life. He just said, scream it, yell it to God, yell it to the universe, whatever you want to say, just get it out there. And I was like, I want more meaning in my life. All of a sudden, my entire life changed. And I knew that I wanted more. There was something that I had been missing, and I couldn't put my finger on it yet. But I knew that something was awaiting me. So I remember standing in the shower, looking up, tears in my eyes, streaming down my face, saying, God, universe, bring me peace, love, and joy. I want a life filled with meaning. I'm tired of it the way it is. I'm tired of the same cycles. The same thing happens over and over again. And I want more. So that's what I did. A couple of days later, I was driving, and on the radio station, all of a sudden, Peaceful Morning Radio is playing when I asked for peace, love, and joy again. And I never downloaded the station. Then all of a sudden, the first song is Joy in the Morning, and the second song is Do Not Fear, You Are Blessed, a Christian song. I was like, okay, I'm going back to this Christian church that a friend of mine who I hadn't seen in 3 years brought me to recently, like the day after Christmas. And I just all of a sudden realized I grew up Catholic. I didn't know you could have a personal relationship with God. That was so powerful for me. All of a sudden, God was talking to me everywhere. And it was a very emotional time. It was very beautiful. My spirituality just grew tenfold. My faith, within everything, I found my faith. And I was on this journey of faith and trust. And this is just beginning of 2022. And
Wow.
It's taken me so far, so quickly, because I just continue to trust in the signs and the guidance. And I know that I'm where I'm meant to be.
Wow. I'm actually starting that journey right now, which is
That's
crazy.
Incredible.
Yeah. I got a message from God the other day, actually, and he said that he is changing my focus. And So I have been like forced to reevaluate my relationship, and I've decided that I really want to just really focus on my career right now. And I do want to be a speaker. I can't wait to see you next week. And we're going to be speaking on the same stage at the
Yeah.
other Tag Talk event.
Yeah. I did my first tag talk, as you know. The first time I was on stage was just this last October. Now, I have a sales background, medical sales. So I've gotten up in front of, like a room of 20 people or 40 people or something and led, but not that often, and certainly not talking about my life story. So that was a powerful experience when you get up on stage and all of a sudden just breathe and just share, connect with people. You just can feel that they're cheering you on. They're feeling your pain. They're cheering for your successes. They're journeying with you in the room. It's so inspiring, and you're just going to feel that. That's my hope for you, is you'll feel that too.
Yeah, I mean, it was really great listening to everybody get up there. Just and watching amateur speakers actually like gave me a lot more confidence to actually do that too. I was sort of trying to get up there to see if I could get like 5 minutes, but I don't think it would have fit in anywhere. But this time I do get my 5 minutes. So I'm more excited than I am scared or nervous. So I'm just going with it. And I'm basically, kind of on vacation. So I'm just like, this is going to be awesome.
Good. I'm so excited for you, and I'm going to be rooting you on the whole way.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out like all that I want to share, but I guess it'll just come because what I have written out right now is not 5 minutes. I'm like,
It'll
okay.
just come, and they'll let you go over a little bit, just so you know. So
Yeah.
it's like 8 minutes.
So I wanted to kind of touch on your tough relationship just because just
Yeah.
bullet points for everybody. You don't really have to get into it if you don't want to too much, but because I've been in toxic relationships too and just overall tough relationships. So just what were maybe just bullet points of what happened in the relationship that made you want to walk away.
Yeah. So that was back in 2012, and I was in a 3-year relationship. I decided that I just couldn't live that way. I, saw his true colors when my little dog got attacked by a Rottweiler and ripped out of my arms.
Oh, wow.
And it was a really scary experience. But his back was turned. He was holding his dog. He blamed me and was yelling at me for not having picked her up. And I was holding her when the dog pulled her out of my arms. So just seeing the way he handled the whole situation during her healing process, God was using her, and it broke my heart, as a vehicle to show me, you know, that I shouldn't be in this relationship, that I deserve better. This was my wake up call to realize that I needed to love myself. I didn't really know that at the time, but once I walked away from that relationship, I just realized I can't marry this man. I can't be in this position where someone's jealous of a dog who needs x-rays all the time, who has pins in her foot like a human would for 3 months, who needs constant supervision during this time. And I just realized, wow, like, what would my life look like with children, all of it? And I just said, I can't do this. And I walked away. He messaged me, called me, ever with emails like every day for 2 months, but I wasn't ready to talk. Eventually I did, and I told him the why when he was ready to listen. But I realized, oh, I just deserved better. I met a coach, a relationship coach, who was amazing. She knew she needed to work with me, and I knew I was supposed to, even though I wasn't really following signs and guidance back then. She was such a blessing because she told me on the first day she was coaching me, you have to hold yourself accountable. You chose this relationship. You are not the victim here, and you have self-esteem issues. Now, coming out of an emotionally abusive, narcissistic relationship, how would you feel hearing that? It's intense. But on some level, I knew it was time to hear those words. And I was ready to change my life. She taught me how to love my inner child. She taught me how to forgive her, how to love her, how to cherish her. And I blame that little girl for everything in my life. I hated her for me being picked on as a kid by the other girls, anything and everything that didn't work out. Because back then, I thought life was happening to me. I didn't know that it happens for me.
That was beautiful what you just said.
Thanks.
I love that
Got
saying.
teared up with that last one.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
love that saying because life really does happen for us. And I actually have a similar-ish experience with my dog and a very narcissistic, abusive, mentally boyfriend that I did have. He did not treat our dog well at all. And I did have to, at least if not for me, then I had to get her away from the situation. So I didn't even let him say goodbye to her. And I had her go stay with one of my friends for 2 months while I found a different place to live. And I had to block him even on email. I had to block him on literally everything because like your situation, he just kept reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually got a job in the same building that I was at down the hallway so he could run into me. So just kind of similar situation there. So I can kind of relate.
That control, the need to control.
The need to control because they're not operating from a whole person. They're operating like off of all these broken pieces that they have. And when it comes to a narcissist, it's just like everything is for their benefit and they're very manipulative and they always need to be on top. They need to feel better than you. So it's rough being with a narcissist.
Yes, I experienced it in corporate America too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, leadership. I've experienced it in a number of different areas. And I realized I wrote a book, Reclaim Your Heart Power. And it's about healing your heart and finding personal power after narcissistic abuse. But narcissistic abuse is only a small part of the book. It's really about rising and healing, finding your power within, speaking your voice, and the steps I took in my life to do just that. So in that case, rising is powerful, but you have to, I don't think we realize that we're taking all these steps. Like you're taking steps every day that you choose growth. And then it can be a small step, baby step, something in between. These giant leaps, like I've been taking giant leaps for a while now. I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, I moved across the country following, God's guidance, knowing and trusting, quitting my corporate job beginning of May and creating an entrepreneurship, having to keep changing it as I change and grow because I keep up leveling. So then things are shifting in my business. So it's all been aligning and it's taken so much trust to just keep walking that path, knowing. And like you said, with the speaking on stage, I know I meant to speak on stage. Early 2022, with my spiritual awakening, I saw visions of me speaking on stage. And it wasn't a small stage, it was a huge stage. And there are so many people in the audience. I was similar to when Gabby Bernstein would see Wayne Dyer on stage and say, that's going to be me one day. And I was realizing that's going to be me one day. And I realized, well, okay, all right, God, show me the way. I don't know how you're going to get me there, but I trust you. And that's what happened. And then sure enough, I was on stage doing that tag talk, that first one in October. I'm doing the VIP one this upcoming next week, beginning of December. So it's just having to trust. And I only found out about Tag Talk because I have a friend back in California, and he's like, "Oh, you wrote a book. Let me send you this Tag Talks, and you can look at it to share your book." So that's how I found out. It's just trusting in those signs and taking those steps. And when I registered, I was living in Roseville at the time. So, and the event was in Roseville, like it could be anywhere. And then this next one is in Dallas, and now I'm living in Dallas. So it just, there's just a way that things come together.
Definitely. It's really funny, and it's always a pleasant surprise when something is just so aligned, and then you just have to go with it, because the more you follow your intuition and all the alignment events that happen, the more and more and more that will happen. So, Raul from Tag Talks told me to definitely keep following my intuition, and I'm doing that.
It's powerful. That's something that I have a very strong sense of knowing and following my intuition. So I just keep going. And this was, I saw signs that I was to move to Dallas area a year and a half ago. Everywhere. I started to see Texas plates in California every day. Like, what are the odds in Northern California?
Right.
I turn on the TV and I hear, I'm watching Hallmark, and so and so's moving to Dallas, or so and so's from Dallas, or just got back from Dallas. And it's not even taking place there. Like, it just is this one little line that I'm catching in the movie. And I'm just in shock all for a while. Like, wow, like this is everywhere. Dallas Cowboy stickers. I go to a restaurant back in Roseville, and then somebody would be talking about Texas. They'd be sitting there, or there's a Texas team playing on TV. I'm always at the right place at the right time to see it. So I was like, I hear you loud and clear. I don't know when you're going to send me there, but I trust in the process. And I thought, okay, like I know I'm older, and I thought that my soulmate was going to, like, I don't even want to call him a soulmate now. It's like my highest divine partner is going to come in. And I just thought, like, then we'll meet and then I'll move. Or when I have my corporate job still, something's going to take me to Texas, and we're going to meet when I'm there, or I'm going to move with work, something. And I thought then the rest will come together. But God had other plans. He's like, nope, surprise. You are going to do all of this on your own. Like, what? I'm not even going to have like soul family here come in and help me with this process. It's like, no, you're gonna do it on your own. So that's what I did. And I had to follow those steps as I was building my business. And I just heard the guidance, okay, it's time for you to move now. And I talked to my parents. At first, they were saying, well, you're building your business. Like, don't you want to wait? I know you're going to move there eventually. Like, it's clear. And I'm like, no, my business is going to skyrocket once I move. And I know that. And they're like, okay. It took they came around to the idea pretty quickly and have been very supportive. But I'm very close to my family, and they were living 5 minutes away. I just spent Thanksgiving moving into my new house.
Right.
Without family around. And yes, we can visit each other, but that's not something that I was used to. And emotions still hit with everything I find. I was a little surprised. I've been so excited to move, and I get out here and I just do my best to flow along with it. Like my movers, I was out here on a Thursday evening, and my movers, were going to be there like by Sunday, like Saturday or Sunday. And then they're there Tuesday. So I just had to flow through things and things were chaotic. And I just heard God tell me, okay, this gives you time to process. Otherwise, you're going to be so busy unpacking, you're not going to be processing your feelings, having made this huge, massive life change.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think it's really important to actually feel your feelings.
Yeah.
Because we learn from our feelings and it just helps us process everything correctly, you know?
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
it was powerful, for everything to come together. I just co-created, manifested all of this. And I realized, wow, anything is possible now to be able to do this. Because I've learned about trusting, taking the small right aligned action or any right aligned action and just continuing to walk forward, surrendering when
Yeah.
you need to surrender and trust in the timing. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden, before I moved, I heard, okay, your house is gonna sell in less than 2 weeks. You're gonna be out there in November. And I thought, okay, like I've been waiting on this for a while. And now all of a sudden, it's all gonna happen at once. So my house sold in less than 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a really good realtor, who's amazing, who I've known and has become a dear friend and a helper of mine on this journey now. So I'm blessed for that. And things just came together quickly. I Googled the area, new homes in that area out here, and I end up with the same builder that I had before. So I was like, what are the odds? And I just knew. And then my sales agent was from California too. And then he just showed me a few homes online, and FaceTiming and whatnot. And I flew out there, picked one out. Everything happened right away. They weren't going to do a contingent offer, but they did. And everything just flowed. And within 3 weeks, I was closed on both houses, even with the bank holiday. So that with the cutoff the day before, all of a sudden it all went through right before the cutoff with the escrow, and I was good to go.
Wow, I love that.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Well, this podcast talks about money too. So
Yes, it does for sure.
yeah, and it was a lot of trust. I mean, there's red tape, and I had to figure out the financial piece, and the right people, the right resources, the right guidance came into play. So I was able to do it. It just all worked out, and my house was above asking, and it just all came together. And it was a tough market. There's
Yeah.
not much selling at the time, and interest rates sky high. But, God did it.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Here I am now, and I'm adjusting. And if it's a little echoey, it's because I'm in my in my house. And I don't have any art on the back wall right now. I just moved in a week ago from today.
Wow. Yeah, I think honestly, it's really important to do moves like that by yourself because I moved to my first apartment by myself. I moved everything in by myself, and then I was just like sitting there like, okay,
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot, but like it was also like a really independent feeling.
It's empowering.
Yeah, and it was great. So maybe I get to do that again soon or something.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like I'm done with Reno. I'm gonna kind of think about maybe moving somewhere else. And I keep seeing Nashville in different places because I've always been kind of called to Nashville or the surrounding areas, just Tennessee. And I keep seeing the name Nashville pop up here and there. So I'm like, okay, like eventually, yeah, I will go there. But I don't think that would be my first move. That's a big move. So
you never know. Like,
yeah, you never know.
Things can happen. And if that's where your life's supposed to be, it'll unfold as long as
Yeah.
you're open to it and you
Hmm.
just pay attention to your intuition, which you're already listening to it.
Yeah. It's pretty strong and I'm pretty good at listening to it. So yeah, I will end up in Idaho though at some point because my parents just sold their house in less than 2 weeks and they're in Idaho now from California.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so I know that I will end up there, but I think I have some stops before that. But it is
Yeah,
crazy how signs pop up like that all the time, like angel numbers also.
me
I
too.
always happen to look at the clock at like 1:11 or something, or
Mhm.
12:03 has been my number for years, and it is my birthday, 12:03.
Okay. I love
So
that.
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm big on angel numbers. I mean, I just left where I'm living, drove down the street this morning, and I saw all these angel numbers. And it still makes me like, I get excited or I start feeling like I'm going to tear up because I am just so amazed at the guidance everywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And I bought this book called Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray.
Uh-huh. I've heard of
So,
that. Kyle
yeah,
Gray's amazing.
it's literally just like all kinds of angel numbers. I don't know if you can see, like
Yep. Yes,
all
there
numbers
we
in the
go.
whole book. Like, it's awesome. So, anything you could look up in there. Um,
Nice. I love it. I love it.
yeah.
No, signs are everywhere.
Yeah.
I turn my head and I see a cross or I like hear, oh, go over there and somebody has a shirt on that says blessed or, pray. I mean, it's just everywhere.
Yeah, it is. And my spiritual journey with God has started very, very recently, right before I actually met you at Tag Talks and stuff.
I
And
love
I've been
that.
wearing my cross necklace
Yeah, I noticed
that
that.
it's been in the box since my christening.
Wow.
And I just started wearing it before I went to Tag Talks because my first message, I got invited to this little church gathering thing. And it's at a coffee shop like 5 minutes from my house. And it's just like 10 or so of us around a table. And we just all just talk about God and how awesome he is and everything. And my first, I thought it was hilarious sign from him was when I left and I was hopping back on the road, and then this big huge white truck with a big magnet on the side that says Jesus really big, and it
Yes.
just came right by me. I was like, I see you, that's really funny.
Yeah. I know those moments are just, you just feel so loved, protected, guided, supported. And yeah,
Yeah,
they're so powerful.
yeah, because you're actually not alone, even though you can't see any physical being or anything, but the signs are always there and you have to be open to accepting them and notice them.
Yes. And when you get out of your head and you get into your heart and you start paying attention to what's around you, the guidance is there.
Hmm.
And like that's a lot of what I help women do too. It's helping them, like with my new program now, is helping them create the life that they truly dream of. And if you don't know what that is, it's about getting clear on what you want and having those conversations, which is what I'm doing so that they know like you can have a life that has meaningful impact where you feel fulfilled, that you're passionate about. And it could be, looking at a goal, an aspiration, and learning the steps, like the process of bringing it into fruition or bringing it, making a substantial progress to bring it to fruition. Some of it
Hmm.
depends on divine timing, but understanding, like I've learned I have to keep letting go of limiting beliefs. That's something that doesn't go away. With all these huge jumps, these up levels, I'm stepping into new identities all the time. And I have to keep letting go of what I need to let go of and just step into my new identity and give myself so much grace and compassion and
Yep.
kindness during that because
Hmm.
it's a process. And it doesn't, even when like you're where you're supposed to be, and this is my destiny that I walked into, there's still scary moments. There's still moments where I'm like, oh, what did I do? And I'm in shock for a moment, and then I just breathe and I say, okay, like everything's good. I'm safe. Like everything's going to adjust and I'm going to find my way here. I'm going to be guided to everyone and everything I need here and who needs me. And that brings me that peace. There are plenty of moments it feels aligned too, but it's just an adjustment. Everything is bigger here. I know they always say everything's bigger in Texas, but like it's so crazy. I walk in places and my mouth is literally wide open. I'm like, I can't even believe the size of anything here. Like restaurants, like everything is just huge.
Right. Yeah, I kind of felt the same way when I drove through one time. I went to one of those gas station stores named Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Oh man. That place was so much fun. They had like a whole beef jerky like counter and stuff, and you could get it in bulk, and it was awesome. Like all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stores wrapped up in one. So Texas was an experience, and I'm excited to go back. And people are telling me that there's like breweries in the airport and like all kinds of stuff. I'm like, no way.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. People are so nice, and I'm so truly blessed with all of it. So yeah, I'm excited for what's to come. And it's okay to just give myself the time that I need to make the transition.
Yeah, it's definitely okay to take days off from your dreams and stuff as long as you're coping correctly. I think that's the main thing. You know, you have to adjust and just get used to the new area, and it's definitely exciting.
Yeah, and what I loved both, so it's like my business is following my journey, depending on what I'm working on with programs. And, I did a lot of my inner healing work and found my personal power. So that's where my book and my previous program came from. And now with all these big steps, being able to manifest, create this life that I truly desire, and now to be living so much of it is just, that's what I'm teaching people how to do, is being able to have that balance, between doing and being. Yeah. And trusting your intuition, listening to it, following the signs, the guidance, just knowing how to go within and get that clarity so that you can make decisions easier, so that, and I'm also super organized, so I keep people on track. And it's about, creating those deadlines and understanding like the steps that you need to take to bring something into fruition.
Definitely.
That's something that's so near and dear to my heart, and I'm so excited to be able to do. And that's a 90-day accelerated high achieving program.
Awesome. Are you in one right now, or are you going to be starting another one soon?
No, I haven't started because I was waiting. I launched right when I moved, the day I moved, but it's been too busy to get going. So I'm ready to just go all in on that now. So I'm going to, I actually got the guidance I was going to just have it a one-on-one, but now I'm hearing do one-on-one for those who want it, but do a group as well, because women can just build off of each other's excitement and can inspire one another, empower one another. So the group is good too.
Yeah, exactly. Doing it as a group. And I think you should be creating a Facebook group only for the people that are joining, so they have that community to just talk when you're not in that session,
I think that's a great idea. Just put them all in a Facebook group for that. Absolutely,
like a private
100%.
group. Yeah. I love that, because that's how it was for when I started this podcast. I joined somebody's course, and it was a 3-month thing, and she did have like a private group for us to all go in and ask each other questions and get some help on like what programs we were all using for this, for editing and recording and everything. So it was just really handy. And then all of us were adding each other on Facebook. So like our Facebook friends grew like crazy. So
I love that. It's all about connecting and just understanding. I know there's some challenges with like the Facebook algorithms right now and growing networks and figuring all of that out, which I'm now going to get some guidance on because that's an area I need help with.
Yeah. I have a book suggestion for you.
Okay.
It's called Be Seen by Jen Gottlieb.
Okay.
It's all about being the real you. She teaches you how to just be authentic and be the real you. She's got a couple exercises in here, and it's actually really funny. So, but it's kind of helping me process the fact that I need to be more on social media and like in the presence of people's face and everything. So, and just be authentic, because like that's what people are attracted to, people who are authentic, not fake. And you can tell too. So
100%.
Yeah, and it's challenging for sure to be your authentic self, but it's probably like the most important thing you could ever do.
Yeah. I really learned. So I ran an intuitive faith abundant living Facebook group with a couple of friends for about a year. And it doesn't exist anymore. It got changed. But I showed up every day and I did a ton of videos so that you would see everything I was going through in my life, all the good moments, the frustrating, challenging moments, the trust, the faith, like all of it.
Okay.
And it was really good for me. It was healing for me. It helped me grow too. So
Okay.
yeah. So if that's something you think that you may want to do.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be a lot easier than just getting on camera and being like, hey guys, today, blah, blah, blah. Like,
You just bring people. Like today, I was sharing, guy was feeling emotional this morning. I wasn't quite sure why. Just like, okay, I went to Lifetime Out Here Fitness and I go in and I'm seeing sign after sign and these people I'm meeting that were working there. And it was just so powerful. Even they had the Christmas tree up and oh my gosh, the size of this tree. I don't think I've seen anything that big in my life. And I'm just like feeling the tears, like not crying, but feeling, my eyes well a little here and there, hearing the words, the guidance from people that I needed to hear there. And then I had messages for them too. It was just all such a powerful experience. And I know I use that word powerful a lot, but it really everything it is. When you start to live your life that way, you can see and feel that power around you, but you can feel that power within you too. And you realize like, you're the one taking these steps to change your life. Like you're the one who is following the guidance, who is paying attention to the signs, who is jumping bravely, walking through the fear, just trusting that without anything tangible on the other side. I think that's the big one. Is just like it's all coming together. It's coming together now, but to do it without anything tangible and just this complete trust.
Yeah, because faith is God. He gives us that faith. Otherwise, it wouldn't come from anywhere else. We wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
So just being courageous and as fearless as possible.
Right. Because I'm not fearless. I know people have said you've fiercely done these things. And I would say, well, not necessarily.
Only on the surface, it looks that way.
walked forward, and I've seen it with love because I've seen it with trust and faith. And I
Mm-hmm.
just keep going because I know, I mean, there are things I thought were going to be easier, that were going to flow a certain way. And I was surprised, the amount of work in some cases to create. In other cases, it just everything flows beautifully in that time. And it's trusting that in that right divine timing.
Right. Yeah, it's really crazy how things just happen when you're not expecting them to, or like not the way
Yeah.
that you're expecting them to, that's for sure. Because I thought I was going to be like with my boyfriend forever. I thought it was a done deal. And apparently it's not. So it's just crazy how things happen. And it's always at the right time for you.
Yes, there's something you're going to learn and grow from this. And it's going to catapult you forward to a whole new life
Mm-hmm.
with new experiences. And you're going to, walk into something even better.
Yeah, I'm very excited
Someone
for
who's
Dallas.
more aligned with you. Everything is going to shift, and it'll be worth it.
Yeah, for sure. For both of us.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yep. Great. That was an awesome conversation. Where can people find you online?
Yeah, so you can find me at Jennifer Lichardi on my Facebook page, and I will share my emails. Let me change. It's empower at jenniferlichardi.com or jenniferlichardi at gmail.com.
Okay.
And then I have my High Achieving Accelerator, the 90-day program. So I have a website for that. So that's www.jenniferlichardi.com. So I made it easy.
Yeah, for sure. And then where can people find your book?
Yeah, my book, Reclaim Your Heart Power, is on Amazon. And there's a
Awesome.
journal to go with it too. So that would have the questions that are in the book. It's a roadmap. So it's a roadmap to find your personal power. And it does talk about narcissistic abuse some because that was my journey. And I know it'll help so many, but that can be any toxic relationship of any kind in your life, not necessarily romantic. There's a lot of different areas, but it's just about finding your own personal power, finding your voice.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a good book.
Thanks.
I love learning about different people. I'm not like a story person. I don't read anything that's made up. So definitely more of a
Yeah.
nonfiction reader.
And it has all the steps. So it's a roadmap for the reader to take. So it can come alongside my journey with all these questions to ask yourself, these steps that you can take to
Mm-hmm.
grow, to heal, to
Awesome.
find your personal power,
Yeah.
and to eventually step into your calling or purpose.
Awesome. I hope a lot of people start doing that from this conversation, if not before, because it's very important to follow your intuition if you feel like something is off. So,
Yeah, you don't
um,
have to be stuck. I mean, I guess I'd close out with you don't have to be stuck. Like, if you've planned a life that you think, like for me, I was in medical sales. I had a good job. I mean, I had a good career, and I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I wasn't being treated well in a lot of cases. Being a top performer didn't matter. And that was not the life I want to live. But for a long time, I thought, well, this is the life I chose. Like, it's not that bad. But you're meant to truly live your life to the fullest. You follow what lights you up, what you're passionate about,
yeah,
and have that lasting, meaningful impact. And to me, that's what was worth it. That is worth everything, is being able to have that meaningful impact, helping others, serving. And in medical sales, I was helping people, yes, but in the hospital, but this is different. This is me truly being me, being able to help people with the gifts God's given me.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. I will link all of your stuff in the description of this episode for you and for everybody who's definitely interested in finding out more about you. Definitely do a deep dive into Jennifer on social media. And thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Please like, review, share, and subscribe to this podcast, and follow us on Instagram at GetSmartWMoney Podcast, as well as checking out our website at GetSmartWithMoneyPodcast.com.